here with Scott, founder of Creative Citizen.
thegreengirls.com.
So Scott, tell us a little bit about Creative Citizen and your work.
Well, Creative Citizen is the wiki for green living. It's all the things you can do to be environmentally friendly, and it's a wiki so everybody can contribute. And part of the process is that you can adopt solutions, so the things that you already do and the things that you ascribe to do in the future, and you get to quantify the results in terms of waste, water, energy, emissions, and money. So you get to really see what this whole green thing really means for you on a daily level, rather than sort of thinking that it's just for green, some guilt factor, or whatever it is, making it really tangible and accessible for people. But they range from turning the water off while you brush your teeth to installing solar panels and everything in between. There's so many things you can do in your daily life. Essentially what we help people to recognize is that almost every habit that you've formed you can do in a more green way. That doesn't necessarily mean you should feel bad about how you live your life, but be open to rethinking each and every sort of step in a methodical and realistic approach, because you can't do everything all at the same time. But recognizing that there are a lot of things that you did just a little bit differently that now, because you're thinking in a new way about the effects of those actions on yourself and the planet, that you start seeing big results. Like the turn the water off while you brush your teeth. It's really funny, but you save about 3,000 gallons of water per person per year. That's not a small amount of water, but it's such a small little act. It's just put the faucet off. So helping people to recognize that small acts can really have big effects. And then when you aggregate them over the whole and you have millions of people doing these things, they get global effects, even for small little things. Think about 3,000 gallons of water. If 100 million people did them, that's a huge number of gallons saved. So we're really helping people to sort of reattach to the moments that they have in their daily life as being truly important, and not just like sort of throw away, oh, I got to get to the next thing, fast food, So helping people to integrate green living in a way that makes sense to them.
And isn't part of that too really understanding what the impact of saving those 3,000 gallons would be? Because it's one thing to have the concept, wow, that's a lot of water to save, but why do we even need to be saving water? As ridiculous as a question as that may sound like.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the environmental scenario, obviously we as a society have our demand has outstripped the supply that's here on the planet. So it's important that, and that's in every regard. So we're running out of water, our air is continuing to get more and more polluted and full of greenhouse gases. We're running out of space for food, et cetera, et cetera. So essentially we have to recalibrate our entire society or we're going to have some significant sort of breakdowns. And we're at a point where we can prevent those breakdowns, and that's what we should be doing, and not sort of having the fear aspects, that come up with a lot of the movies like 11th Hour or Inconvenient Truth that cause a lot of people, significant sort of fear. We need to move away from that and say, here are what the opportunities are for you to live a better life. Green living is not about a sacrifice, it's about just simply living a better life for yourself, for your family, and for the planet. And it's really a new common sense.
And what inspires you in your daily life to keep up that effort?
The breadth of that opportunity. The reality is that we now get to rethink every facet of our society through the lens of sustainability. And as a result, especially for business people like myself, that makes an amazing opportunity for us to get in there and create great effects in what we do as business people, to ensure that our society is going in the positive direction that it needs to go, rather than continuing down the path of depletion and destruction that it's going right now. So that opportunity is what wakes me up in the morning and says, let's go create more green business and more radical collaborations with our partners, and simply making sure that we get things done.
What would you say is your biggest obstacle?
My biggest obstacle, honestly, is helping the typical investment community and the powers that be that have been here and running business for a number of decades in a certain model recognize that this new model is actually complementary to what they've been doing, but is an upgrade and is something that is not going to necessarily sort of cause them to lose all of the assets and the intellectual property and all these models that they put in, but that in fact it will expand their ability to be quality investors and have a better life. So the the money side of our society is having the hardest time grasping the environmental movement and the fact that it's actually better for business and better for government and better for the society as a whole to be living and operating with these principles than what we've been doing.
And do you think that's just a matter of things having been a certain way for so long and just needing a mental adjustment?
Yeah, I mean, old habits die hard, for sure. I don't blame anybody. I don't think there's any sort of great conspiracy of people are sort of holding back the environmental movement. It's just you get comfortable in your ways, and it's hard to uproot those. And so we're in a process of helping people to, in a positive and exciting way, uproot those and recognize the opportunities here are magnified rather than reduced. So they're coming around, though.
And old habits die hard. That's a really great point. I was going to ask you, what's maybe one habit you have that's taken a while to shift?
Long showers. I can't help it. The long, warm showers, it kills me. So what I do is, whether you like it or not, I don't shower every day. So that's how I make up for it.
How's that working for you?
I don't know. You want to tell me?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's my hard one.
So tell us about this iPhone app that you have.
It's called Third Whale, 3RD Whale, and it gives you all the green locations plus all the green living tips that are on creativecitizen.com. And it's locationally aware, so wherever you go, it tells you the green farmer's market or grocery store or restaurant that's available to you right there. So you can live a green lifestyle a lot more sort of accessibly. And the next layers of it are going to have green news and videos, and it's a very exciting endeavor that we've embarked on with our partners at Third Whale.
TheGreenGirls.com